welcome to episode 104 of the Cat Lady podcast. My name is Andrea, also known as the Cat Lady. That's 2 T's, CATT for Craft All the Things. Welcome. This is primarily a fiber-related podcast, but I do a bunch of different crafts. So my primary crafts are knitting and spinning with some sewing and crochet, as well as some paper craft with the Cricut and making shirts and mugs and stuff, but mostly knitting. So if you are new, thank you for joining me. I am recording to you from Michigan, which is a cold and dreary place right now. So we are in the thick of the cold and dreariness. So I live with my husband and 2 small elementary age kids and 2 cats, which one of them happens to be hanging out today, which is not typical, actually. This is Devo. And his sister's name is Sadie, and she's lounging. I can see her from here. She's lounging under the table in the dining room. So again, thank you for joining me. You can find me all over the internet as the Cat Lady. Again, that's 2 T's, so THECATTLADY. On Instagram, I have a Facebook page, a group, the Cat Lady, and of course the YouTube channel. If you like what you see, please like and subscribe and share and follow and do all those fun things. So I did make it to 500 subscribers last month, but then I'm back down. I haven't looked again, but pretty sure that the Vlogmas kind of picked up speed and then kind of lost a few. So which I knew it was going to happen, because it's a big numbers game. So yeah, gain a bunch, you lose some. Gain some, lose some. So I'm at 497. So once I get a firm hold on 500, I will definitely do some sort of giveaway. So, you know, maybe like I need to get like 510. So I want to firmly grasp that 500 mark. So I'd love to get more, but you know, baby steps. So thank you for everyone who has followed me through Vlogmas. I had a fun time. It was interesting. It was fun. I liked doing those short clips throughout the day. It was almost like a job, though, you know, trying to, I need to record this, and then getting mad when, like, the camera didn't work or something didn't come out, because I'm not going to re-record things for the most part. Well, some things you couldn't, like if I was preparing a meal of some sort, I couldn't re-prepare it, so that was challenging, but for the most part, it was fun to get the kids involved in opening my little mini yarn balls for my blanket, and I don't know, just all the fun things we were doing leading up to Christmas. Obviously it got a little hectic towards the end, and my final episode didn't post until after Christmas, but that's okay. I still did it. I still recorded every day, at least a little something. Thank you for everyone who participated in the last knit along that I had, and I announced those winners already and already sent out their packages. So I'm creating a new make-along for the year, which I had mentioned in the previous podcast. It's going to be the WIP along, so WIP, works in progress. I'm calling this a make-along because I'm going to include pretty much anything that's crafty related. So knitting, spinning, crochet, sewing, weaving, paper crafting, anything that you've had that you started and did not finish. So if you're like me, I try not to keep too many WIPs at one time. I really do. But I had a handful of WIPs right before the holidays, and then I needed to get the holiday knitting done. So I threw all those aside, got all my holiday knits done, and then every New Year's, you know, there's always the Christmas Eve cast on or the New Year's cast on. Well, I don't ever do a Christmas Eve cast on because I'm too busy anyways. New Year's Eve, I always do a New Year's Eve cast on. Well, I cast on like 3 different things between New Year's and now, so my WIP list has grown quite a bit. So I have lots of WIPs. They're mostly knit and crochet. I don't have anything on the wheel right now. My sewing is, I have projects I want to make, but there's nothing I'm in the middle of. So really it's all on knit and crochet. But last year, or not that long ago, I had bags, like project bags, sewing that were half sewn, or the fabric was cut out and laid out and ready to be sewn. So it's super typical to have sewing WIPs as well. And I'm sure weaving and all that stuff, and spinning. So I will start a thread on Ravelry, so you must be a Ravelry member and join my Ravelry group, which I forgot to mention, I have a Ravelry group. You must be a member, so join the Ravelry group. I will post a thread and post one post per WIP that you finish. And for an extra entry, if you frog a WIP, so that happens to me sometimes too, where a WIP will sit for too long and I'll decide, you know what, it's not worth it. And actually, when I go into my works in progresses, I have one I think I'm gonna frog, so I will talk about that. So if you frog a WIP, you can enter in, I don't know, show a picture of you frogging it or a pile of the spaghetti left over, and that will count as an entry as well. I think we're gonna go through March. That's my initial guess. So anything that was cast on before January 1st, 2020, so anything prior to this year, and we'll run it from now until end of March. And then if for some reason people still need more time, or if I might take a little consensus towards the end of March and see where we're at, and we'll see where I am at too. I'm going to post my finished WIPs as well, but I do not qualify for prizes, so no chatter, just stick with the post of the finished objects. And if you have any questions, just feel free to drop me a line, either Ravelry message, YouTube, down below, comments, Instagram, Facebook, anywhere. Prizes are to be determined. If you are a maker and you would like to donate prizes, I am more than willing to accept prizes that will be directly given back to my cat lady community in some way, shape, or form. It will include a skein of yarn, a project bag, either one I've already made or a new one that I make, and a set of stitch markers that I got like 4 of them that were donated from Neetsy's Porch from her Etsy store. So I have 4 sets of those that I'd like to use as giveaways this year. So a set of stitch markers, a skein of yarn that I have a few contenders. So I might actually put together like a couple little packages and then the winner can choose one. Because I know I have multiple project bags I can give away, I have different yarns I can give away, and I have the multiple sets of markers. So I can try to make coordinating sets of some sort. So stay tuned with that, and everything will be posted in Ravelry, hopefully this week. No later than next week, but just keep working on those WIPs, and once you finish them, you can post them. So that's all for podcast news. So knitting and crochet, I was gonna grab a picture. Good thing for post-production / editing, I will put in a picture. So I cast on a hat for David. This is my one and only finished object. I cast on a hat for David. There it is. And so if you are a longtime follower and possibly remember, like years ago, I made the kids these little cute Conehead hats. And one was yellow and one was pink. I made David a yellow one, Emily a pink one. And it was out of yarn that they had bought me for Mother's Day or something. Or my birthday, one of the two. So I made them these cute little matching cone hats, and they're made for like little kids. So, but David's been wearing it. Emily wore it for, 6 months, maybe, 1 season, and then she was done. David's worn his since then. So, I have a picture of him in his little, if I can find it. I have a picture of him as a little toddler wearing this hat, and literally, like, he's been wearing it until a week or so ago. So there's baby David wearing his first Conehead hat. So finally, like a week or so ago, or a couple weeks ago, he's like, this hat's kind of snug, can you make me another one? Maybe it's like a month ago. I said, well, yes, of course I can make you another one. When my boy asks for a hand-knit hat, I will make him a hand-knit hat. So actually I can just show you that. I have better, I'll still put in the better picture, but here's the new hat finished. Hopefully that's focusing. The focus box is kind of being weird. Okay, there we go. So I took nicer pictures of him, so I wanted to show one of the nicer pictures I took. But, so I made him a second one. Well, I cast it on the 30th. It was like right before New Year's. Or maybe it was like the 29th. And then I finished it the next day, like on the 30th. And it was huge! Like I followed, So I went to the store and bought yarn, not thinking. I thought it was a worsted weight hat. Well, no, it's a bulky hat. So I got home, and then, but the skein was big enough. I'm like, okay, well, I'll just put 2 strands together, and that'll make it bulky. So I did that, and I followed the size for the large size, because there's 2 sizes. And it's still for, like, supposedly a small kid. It was like a toddler kid and like a 5-year-old kid or something. I don't know. It was like a 3-year-old and 5-year-old type thing. And so I made the big one, and it was huge. It like came down to his nose, and I'm like, well, you know, that means he can just wear it forever. But yeah, after he put it on a few, he's like, this is too big. I said, okay, it's too big. So I frogged it, and I had washed and dried it, and I don't know, I feel like I put a dryer sheet in there, and it felt funny. So then I re-washed the yarn in the sink, and I hung it to dry. I mean, too much work went into this basic hat. So then I recast it on and finished it in a day, because again, it was a really quick knit. But I did the smaller size in the thicker yarn, and now I feel like it's good. I feel like it's good, but it does feel like it's a little snug. Like, it's only like a 5-stitch count difference. This is a free pattern from Lion Brand. I'm not getting anything away, but it was like a 55 stitch cast on for the small and a 60 stitch cast on for the large, which, you know, it's bulky yarn, so you know, it's about an inch difference, but it went from like being hugely too big to now I feel like it's snug. But I don't know, he's wearing it. He worked school today, worked school yesterday, so that's why I can't show it. So he likes it. But it's using Big Twist yarn, soft, in the yellow colorway, 100% acrylic. Yeah, Joann's. So yarn was okay. To be honest, after I washed and dried it, it seemed like it pilled awful quick. Like, usually, you know, I block things by washing and drying them if it's acrylic, because it softens up and it just kind of looks, all the stitches look even. Well, that one, it didn't come out great. So after I re-washed it in the sink and hang dried it and then knit it again, it seems better. But yeah, I don't know what happened there. So that was my only finished object so far. And technically it was finished before the New Year, but then I had to redo it, and then it was after the New Year was finished. So my second works in progress. So my first work in progress, let's see, which order did I think I cast on my socks first. So it's right here. So my New Year's cast on was, yes, I did cast these on first. These are, I'm calling my lava lamp socks, and these are just a vanilla sock, toe up. I haven't done much work on it since New Year's, to be honest, because I have so many WIPs. But this is what I got. Got one sparkly toe. So I love the way it's patterning. So this was a different kind of design from Gail's Art Sock Blank. It is made. Got this at Rhinebeck, and it was made to kind of stripe. So it's half the colors and then half just a gray. So that when you knit, you do like 2 rows of color, a row of gray, a row of color. Oh, it's about a row each. Well, 1 or 2 rows. Some spots have 2 rows, some spots have 1. So it's making just very, very narrow rows of color. But yeah, so it goes orangey into a yellowy green, and then I'll have a blue and pink, and then back to the orangey. So yeah, and it's very, very sparkly. And I have my go-to peppermint bark in my bag. I still have, I'm using my project bag I made. I really like this one. It's kind of a gold shimmer black with gray arrows on the inside. As well as a needle keeper, which maybe I can throw one of those into the prize pack for the make-along as well. See what I have in my stash, because again, I make all these things and then I just throw them in a bucket, because I can't possibly use like 50 bags at once. So that is my first WIP, and then my second cast on for New Year's Eve was a hat, and this is called the Willow Lane Hat by Brandy Miller Designs. Oh, let me also mention I'm using size 0 needles for the socks. For the Willow Lane, Pardon me for 1 second. I'm using size needle 1 and 2, US 1, US 2, so US 1 for the brim, US 2 for everything else. This is a pattern by my friend Brandy Miller, and this is using Madeline Tosh Light in the mandala colorway, which again, if you are a very long time viewer, I used this for New Year's cast on a few years ago for the Silver by Lisa Much, and I knit the whole thing and I blocked it, and I just didn't really like it. It wasn't big enough, and it did something weird at the top. It didn't like, it was a triangle shawl and it didn't really lay like a triangle. It kind of went up, like, it was very strange. I didn't like it. I like the pattern, I just didn't like the construction and how it turned out. And looking through project pages afterwards, a lot of people had similar problems, so I frogged it. And this is a single ply, so frogging it wasn't simple, but it's re-knitting up just fine. Unfortunately, I'm losing some of the cable definition, which I was afraid of because it's kind of a dark blue and it's very variegated in colors. So, and I'm not going to really know if I mean, when you stretch it out, which it will be stretched on my head, you can see the cable. But when it kind of just sits and I'm knitting it, it's hard to see. And there's a cable repeats a few times around, and I'm really hoping that I like it. Like, looking at it now from a distance, I do, but I feel like it's kind of lost in there. Oh, helps if you can see the cable. I'm not covering it with my fingers. So yeah, I'm 2 rounds in. I got like 6 or 7 rounds to go, or 6 or 7 rounds total, depending on how slouchy I'm on it. It was a twisted rib brim, which took me forever, but I like it. I like the way it looks. So I'm just slowly plugging away on that. I'm trying to get like a repeat done every day or two, so I'm not in any hurry. So, but I do want more fingering weight hats, so that is one of my goals for 2020 is to make more fingering weight hats. The other cast on, which I meant to cast on New Year's Eve, but I ended up having a couple drinks and decided it wouldn't be a good idea to cast anything else on, is the Cooler Side of Warm by Espace Chiku. It is a cowl that I saw Shamika from Knit Night with Shamika on YouTube. During her Vlogmas, she made this, and I thought it was really cool, and it's a pretty fast knit. This is what this is what the finished object should look like. And I am using leftover yarn from my Lang Lang sweater, so it's Knit Picks Brava in the Seraphim colorway. So I got quite a bit done. So it's got a slit on the side. This is a free pattern too. Boy, like a bunch of their patterns are free, which is really nice. So it's got this slit at the side, so it lays on your shoulder, and then this kind of bunchies up, and then there'll be some ribbing at the top. So I think I got one more decrease, and then I start the ribbing. So I got like another inch to go, then decrease, and then ribbing for 4 inches, so about the same as the bottom here. So it's been knitting up pretty fast. This is worsted weight, it's pretty soft, and yeah, so I'm excited. I'm hoping I have enough to make a matching hat, but I don't know if I will. So I still have a lot of this skein, and then I have these chunks. And the hat I want to make, I will talk about in a minute. If this yarn doesn't work, then I have a different yarn in mind as well. So we'll see. I'll figure it out. Maybe I'll find a different hat pattern that I might be able to use this yarn. I don't know. It'd be nice to have a matching set. That's what Shamika did too. Sort of. I don't know if she used the same yarn or just similar yarns. Can't remember, but she has a cute like hat with the cowl, and it's super fun. So those are all my new WIPs. So, on to my old WIPs. I was going to talk briefly about a couple of them. Let's see. So the one that I'm going to frog, I didn't bring it because I didn't grab it, but I have a picture I can show you. So I did a loom project last year, a couple months ago. I made a hat, and it was kind of snug. I put it on again yesterday, actually, because I still need to make a pom for it, and it's okay. It's not too tight. It's just a little snug, which it's not a bad thing. So then I decided I'm going to cast on something else on the loom, because I don't know, I just like playing with different things. And so I started a pair of boot cuffs. And I literally got like 5 rounds in, and I haven't touched it since. This holding Caron Simply Soft in double. I think I'd rather just knit a pair of boot cuffs. And now that I have so many other WIPs, I think I'm going to frog that one, because, you know, I just don't think I'm going to do anything with it. I'm being realistic. So I'm going to frog that. And I need to finish my Keane sweater, so this is literally still the same place. I lost my stitch marker. Okay. This is literally still the last place it was like 2 months ago. So I finished. Boy, the color is completely wrong. It's more of a dark, no, it's like burgundy color, a wine color, not a bright red color that it's looking. I have a more color accurate picture on Ravelry. So the whole body is done. I bound it off, but I didn't cut the yarn because I guess I still need to try it on and see if it's the right length that I want it. I think it is. Holding it up, it kind of looks like it is. So I need the sleeves and the neck, and it's a big kind of cowl neck. It's called Keane by Alicia Plummer. It's from the Plum Dandy Knits book. Bulky, Knit Picks Brava, bulky in the wine color, yes. So it looks like wine, not bright red. And that's living in my Mickey and Minnie bag. I thought was appropriate, I don't know. Red, tones of red. And that is being knit on 10.5s, which I had to pull the 10.5s, which there's no needles in it anyways, but I had to pull those to make the hat for David. Yeah, I did. I went up a needle size, that's what it was. But the 10, when I originally made the hat for David, I did it in a size 10, and I wrote notes saying it was too tight, which even doing the 10.5s, the fabric seemed tight. It wasn't like loose, which is a hat. It shouldn't be loose, I guess, but the 10.5 seemed to be good. But I got gauge, pretty close to gauge, so whatever. It's done. So next up is my, I don't know which is in what bag anymore. Ooh, picked right. This is my Zelda bag that I made. I love this bag. I love this fabric. It's the Legend of Zelda, kind of like hieroglyphic looking fabric. So this is my bow tie ascot scarf by Pam Powers. And I got one petal done. This is not a free pattern, but I got one petal done, and this has been like in this state for months. Like I did one petal and then moved on to other things. And this is using Line Brand Heartland yarn. This is the 3rd one I have made, but the first 2 were for somebody else. So this one I'm making for myself because I really like it. So I'll show you what it looks. I'll show you one of the original ones I made, and actually I made it in the same color that I'm making it now. Let's see if I can find it's a goofy picture of me, but shows you what it looks like. So super cute. I really like it. I like the style of it. It's just a cute little accent bow. I made one in that, and I made one in red, and to be honest, I've stuck with the neutral color because I figured I could use it everywhere. The red one's really stunning too. I don't know if I took a picture of me wearing the red one. No, I didn't. But the red one is really pretty. Also made in, both of these are made in Heartland, Line Brand Heartland yarn, so I just stuck with the same thing. It is not the easiest thing to knit. I'll admit. But I feel like it's worth it at the end, so just need to plug along. It's just a little bit finicky at places. So, sock yarn blanket. I guess this is half finished object, half work in progress. So over Advent, I finished my 24 squares that I needed, but in addition, I started adding more squares, and I did a total of 48 squares before the new year. So I made, each row is 24 squares. So I did 2 full rows, which was pretty good. So my goal now, my 2020 goal, knitting goal, is to come at least pretty close to finishing this blanket, if not finishing it. So as of the start of the year, I needed 432 squares. And if I knit a square a day, that's approximately, and it's leap year, so it's 366 days this year. And then, you know, obviously a few days I could double up. So far I've had to double up because I've missed a day, so I'm not sure about that. But I'm sure I can peg a weekend somewhere where I can add, you know, 5 or 6 in a day. So where am I at? So I'm up to 6, so today's January 7th, 2020, by the way. I'm upside down here. So I've done my 6 squares for the past 6 days, so I have not done today's square yet. But so yeah, I have my 6 squares for the last 6 days of January all in there. So yeah, it's getting big. I mean, I can't even fit it on the whole screen almost. So I need to get this done. This needs to be done. I think I started this in 2015. I'm not gonna look it up right now, but I think it was 2015. I am not regretting the size of this bag anymore. So originally I said this bag was too big, but this bag is perfect for this project. Now, obviously it is a Christmas bag because it's a snowman decorating a Christmas tree, but you know what? That's fine. It's my only huge bag, so it's going to stay. I have another blanket that I didn't grab. It's a crocheted blanket for Emily. So here's a question for you guys. Do I make this blanket so that she can use it now and then potentially like wear the thing out before it's, you know, before she's off to her own place or anything? Or do I work on it slowly and then give it to her as a, like, you know, high school graduation gift or something? So it's just a very simple granny square blanket. Probably have to re-look it up on how to do it because I haven't touched it in like a year or two. When did I start this? I started this in 2016. Okay, so I definitely haven't touched it in a while. And I made a mistake in there too, but with the color sequence, but whatever, it's fine. It's a design element. But I don't know, do I like work on it a little bits at a time and get it ready for high school graduation? Do I make it and just give it to her and then hope that she doesn't destroy it before she could take it to her, you know, dorm or apartment? And then I gotta make the same for David. Like, not the same blanket. I have Bernat blanket yarn and a large crochet hook, so it should be quicker because it's super bulky or real bulky yarn. It's that like soft blankety yarn. And I got a whole bin of it. Actually, I got enough for 2 blankets, one for my bed and one for, actually I might make that a couch blanket now I'm thinking. But anyways, I have enough for 2 blankets, one for me and my husband and one for David. And I haven't even touched it. And I'm not a great crocheter, so I'm okay. And I can do a square. And this will be like a rows of either singles or doubles. I don't know. I haven't played with what I like better fabric wise. Might be doubles just because it'll go faster. So yeah, what should I do? Should I make them and just let the kids have them now, or do I wait till they're older? Save the projects. So I don't know. And that's my old WIPs. So you think it'd be done there, but it's not. I have a whole list of what is like I like to call needle adjacent, which is a term I picked up along some other podcasts at some point. So things that are begging to jump on the needles. Okay, I don't know if I ran out of time or what happened there. My camera just decided to turn off. I might have ran out of time. I don't know. But anyways, have I really been talking for half an hour? If so, I really gotta get moving through this. Anyway, so my needle adjacent project number 1 is the Burberry inspired cowl with this big twist yarn that is supposedly bulky. I mean, it is bulky. And this is what it looks like. Saw it on another podcast during Vlogmas and thought that was cute. A second needle adjacent is the Sparkling Cider Hat by Willow Vine. And this is a fingering slash mohair slash bead hat. So that is another resolution, is to learn a new thing, and that's knitting with beads. I would love to knit with beads. So I have, the yarn is on order, and I have the beads. So I want to make that. Pull the Wool Over is another hat by Espace Chiku. This is the hat that I want to use to match the cowl. It's just a real simple basic hat. I don't have that big of a pom-pom though, so I need to maybe get that. Here's a picture of it. It's very, very basic actually, so that'll be a fast knit. And I think this is actually held with some sort of mohair too, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to use a worsted. It says it's using an Aran weight and a lace weight, so I'm going with the worsted. Originally, and yeah, I'll show you the yarn I bought for it first, but then it didn't quite work out with the cowl, and I don't know. And then I want to make a mini kitty poof, because it's adorable. This is a Knit Picks pattern. I don't know, I saw it and I wanted to make it. So I have the yarn, it's just going to be Lion Brand Hometown USA in, I think it's in my Space Cats bag. I think. Yes. Oh, no, that's my crochets. It's my crochet dishcloth. Oh, is it in this bag? It's in this cat bag. Yes. So I have a speckle, like a tweed, white colored, and a black. Ideally, I'd like to make a black and a white, and then an orange and a white to represent my kitties. So, but this is what I have on hand, so I will use that first. So that is the mini kitty poof. And then and we have another, me and my friend Jen, also known as Storm Ghost on Instagram, etc. We like to do twinsy projects, and we have decided to, we bought twinsy yarn at Rhinebeck last year. We bought Miss Babs' Rhinebeck colorway, and we'd like to make a Barley Light or some sort of fingering weight hat, but I think we decided Barley Light. It's pretty simple and it should look nice in the yarn, and I like my first one a lot, so you know, I kind of like to make a rainbow of barleys, and it's free pattern, and if we have leftovers, which we probably will, we might make a pair of fingerless mitts, but we haven't determined what yet. So those are all my needle adjacent projects. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I am itching just to make these things, but I have to set some sort of ground rules for me. Like I have to finish something first, right? That should be my rule. Nothing spinning on the spinning wheel. I really want to put something on the spinning wheel. I have an idea, and I really want to use my eel wheel. I haven't used my eel wheel in quite a while, so I want to pull that out and make sure it still works. So I'm thinking I have an 8-ounce braid of like white black merino from the sheep shed I might want to put on there, but again, I gotta finish some of these first. Nothing on the Cricut. I'd like to make some shirts. So nothing sewing going on except for a repair. So when I went back to make more bags, this was the first bag I made. It's inside out right now. And I forgot to like top stitch in the front, and apparently I did not secure the seam very well on the handle, because I went to use the bag and the handle was coming undone and this whole side seam was unraveling. So I debated on just trying to like tack on top of it, but you know, it wasn't that bad. All I did was take out the bottom seam, turn it back inside out, and I just need to go reinforce this seam here and then re-sew it. So it'll be an easy fix. But my sewing machine is currently buried in the basement, so I don't know when I'm going to get to this, but yeah, so that'll have to wait. But that is a sewing project that needs to be refixed. I like to make some pajama pants. I like to make project bags. It's just fun to make the project bags. Like, I don't need them all, and I worry about selling them because of things like that, so I don't know if I'm quite sell-worthy yet. Maybe if I just did like a D-stash type selling on like Instagram or something and made them semi cheap and just went with it. So I don't know. So on to stash. I have a little bit of stash to share. So I did a very impromptu last minute purchase, and I showed this on my Vlogmas, so if you watch my Vlogmas you've already seen this, but if not, so right before Christmas, it was like the final day to get this yarn from Mint Rain. She had a special Christmas colorway called the 12 Days of Christmas, and it's based on like a Puabic pottery type colorway, so it's not traditional Christmas, but it was super pretty. It's the self-striping. So this was her special Christmas colorway this year, and I thought it was very pretty, and there was a couple left and she was going to ship right away, so I said okay. And then as I was on her website, the first yarn I saw just made me laugh, so I had to get it. I didn't, you know, it wouldn't even have mattered what color it was, I just liked the name, but the colors are amazing. So this was called the Hot Mess Express. So it is pretty much that bright. It's very bright hot pink and purples, which totally are me. So this will be something fun. I don't know what yet, but so those were my splurges. Okay, I'm gonna pause for 1 minute for a phone call. Sorry for the interruption. I got a phone call that I had to take, so I don't even remember where I left off now. I was talking about stash, so I showed you my Mint Rain. So then I showed you the yarn I showed you the hat that I made with the yarn I bought at Joann's. Well, this was the other yarn I bought. It's a touch of alpaca, and this was going to be used for the cowl and hat, but I didn't really think it clearly. I didn't realize I needed so much yarn for the cowl. So I only bought 2 skeins of it, which is pretty. I thought, oh, a skein for a cowl, a skein for a hat. I was kind of dumb. So I could possibly use this for the hat. I don't know if I like how it matches where's the cowl? I have so many bags on the floor now, it's like insane. I don't think this matches close enough. Yeah, I mean, this is more of a, I mean, it doesn't not match, but I don't know if that like really goes together. That's more purple and then the pink. I kind of wanted it more of a closely matched set. So I'm hoping I have enough leftover yarn from the cowl. Could always order another skein from Knit Picks. I don't know. Then I bought this Pom Pom to go on whatever hat I make with this yarn, because how pretty is that? And it was half off because I had a coupon, so, because I usually just make my own pom-poms, but all I have is white, and all I have is like the sparkly white faux fur, so it's like I'm kind of getting bored of the same color pom-poms, but this was pretty. And I've never actually used an official bought pom-pom, so I'm not sure how to attach it. Do you just sew it in? I don't know. What do you do with this rubber band thing? Elastic. Do you kind of loop it in? I don't know. Let me know. And then I bought some beads for the sparkling cider hat. So this is the beads I plan to use. I need to probably get a crochet hook. I might have one. I don't know if I have one small enough to put on the beads. And then I think I mentioned before in one of my podcasts, I don't know, but over Vlogmas, I was watching a bunch of other Vlogmas episodes, and I stumbled across one called The Happy Little Yarn. And Amy was doing a Vlogmas, and she had a ton of advent calendars. She had like 4 yarn calendars, and one of them was the Jimmy Beans wool. And apparently there was a project that went along with the calendar. So every day you opened up a small little skein of something, or a item of some sort. So it had scissors and tape measures and stuff. And then you would follow a pattern. So, but she didn't, I don't even know if she looked at the pattern or had any interest in the pattern or what the deal was, but one of the first ones she opened, oh, where we're going here, was this. And it looks like mohair, but it's actually alpaca silk. So it's super soft, but it's like a, you know, fuzzy lace weight. Pretty color. It's like a stormy purple blue. So she opened it, and then every other day, practically, she'd get another one. And well, it corresponded to what the pattern was. Oh, I think there's a tag in here. Here it is. It is. Oh yes, Spirit of the Season shawl was what it's for. This is Fiber Space Cumulus in the Storm Cloud. 74% baby Surrey alpaca, 26% mulberry silk. So it's an alpaca silk, Storm Cloud colorway. But she got 9 of them total. And so she's like, if anyone wants these, let me know. And I said, hey, I'll buy them off you. And she's like, oh, I'll just give them to you. So she sent them to me and then included like a whole bunch of other stuff in a package. Oh, but yeah, so this with this beads, and then I have a very similar colored yarn coming, MCN from Knit Picks. So that's coming in. So here's, she's got the cutest little thing. She has an Etsy store, and she used to dye yarn apparently, but she's not going to do that anymore because it's she doesn't have the space. But there's her little logo. This is like a little coaster. And I got a sticker and a magnet. So how cute is that? And then a little tape measure with her name on it. And then some little kitty stitch markers. And then a whole bunch of minis. Like minis galore, so these will be perfect for my blanket. Because I am in need. I do not have 400 minis for my blanket. I only have like 100 and something. So I need more minis. And then these cute little like stationery. It's like little note pages and envelopes. So we got a little mouse and then a cute little polar bear. So thank you so much. That was a wonderful package. Oh, more. There's more. There's more. Wait, there's more. It's in my lap. So on another one of her vlogs, she had shown off this fabric, or I seen this fabric in her stash, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that fabric is adorable. And so she sent it. So fluffy cats and pumpkins. So, and it's a nice fabric. It's a nice sturdy fabric. So I will make a bag out of this for sure. A nice Halloween bag, probably a big one. And then this little pouch. It's kind of like a, you can use it as a notions pouch. Looks like a kind of pencil pouch. So yeah, thank you, Amy. That was a beautiful package. I am getting a cute little sticker, even a sticker on the package. Pink package with a cute little sticker. This is happy mail. So very cute. So that is all my stash. I did want to stop and recognize some other podcasts. So I've been trying to, network with other podcasts, and, I've been mentioned on theirs, and I want to mention them on mine. So some of the podcasts I stumbled across mostly during Vlogmas, and then have tried to keep up with, or back catalog or whatever. So the one I meant to mention on episode 103, I forgot, was When Harry Met Annie podcast. So it's named after her cats, which are named Harry Potter and Onyx. So When Harry Met Annie. So she podcasts every once in a while, kind of same as the rest of us who have lives that are busy, and just kind of fit it in when you can. Happy Little Yarn, who is Amy, and she just posted an episode a couple days ago, so check her out. And I always have to give love to the Wayward Skein, who is Lynn. She did so she's Jewish, so she did a 8 Crazy Nights vlog instead of the Vlogmas, so you can go back and watch those, and she posts I think she just posted an episode I still need to catch up on. Flame and Fiber podcast, I think she has a new episode I have to catch up on as well, but she did Vlogmas, and I've known Flame and Fiber for a while, and I always say hi to her at Rhinebeck, but I'm hoping to. I've been so behind on podcasts, and I've tried to catch up, and I'm somewhat caught up with who I want to watch. I can't watch everybody, unfortunately. Knit Night with Shamika did the Vlogmas, and hers was posted a little bit behind, but she got it all up, and I watched all those, and those were fun, and got lots of knitting ideas from her, so she's great. A Lefty Knitter podcast with Aquila, I think her name is. So she's fun. She just posted an episode recently. Victoria Knits podcast, she's been around for a while, and we've chatted back and forth, and she did Vlogmas, which was fun to watch, and I'm sure she'll have a regular scheduled podcast episode soon. Joey's Scarf podcast is another new to me podcast, and she's posted an episode, I believe, since Vlogmas. Yes, I watched hers. The Yarn Curator podcast I've mentioned before. Waiting for her to post something new. She did most of Vlogmas, and she needs to get another episode out. And then her sister, Felicity Yarn Studio podcast. She has a... boy, I can't talk anymore. She is a yarn dyer and has a podcast. And last but not least, the Reluctant Sisters podcast, who needs to post another podcast. She didn't do Vlogmas, but she's got a knit along going as well. You can check out if for any kind of warm up. I did that one year too, the warm up knit along. Hats, scarves, gowels, mittens, anything but socks pretty much, and you can post them in your thread. So I posted a few of my finished objects in there. So those are my podcasts. So life in review, super quick because this is going on forever. We're back in the routine. Kids are back to school. Everything is very hectic again, but that's like normal. That's our normal. Our hectic is normal. I do not like waking up to my alarm in the morning. I will give you that. The last 2 days have been rough in the morning. Christmas was good. Kids got lots of stuff. Probably got too much stuff. We have all the Christmas stuff put away, thankfully. It's still, well, the bins are still up here, but it's all packed. So house is kind of looking normal again. This week is back with a vengeance. We had Cub Scouts last night. We have Lego Club tonight. We have a Lego Expo this weekend. We have a trip to an air museum this weekend. We have church stuff this weekend. And on Friday, I have a job interview. I've not worked for like 10 years because I am a stay-at-home mother. So this is something, but it is for a yarn store. It is for a local yarn store. I'm trying not to be too hopeful because I have no idea if it's going to work. It's part-time, which would be perfect, obviously. But I still have a very iffy schedule to contend with. You know, I have to be here in the morning for the kids. I have to be here at a certain time in the afternoon for the kids. They're not old enough to stay by themselves for more than, short bursts. If, Jim's on his way home and I go somewhere, we can leave them for a few minutes. As long as we know someone's, coming and going at the same time. I can run up to the corner store real quick, and that's about it. That's the extent of, home alone. So I'm looking for any positive juju into the universe for me that this thing could work, because this is like my dream job. It's a yarn store. I mean, like, I'm not quite ready to jump full feet first into the workforce, just because of the kids' schedule, and I'm already looking at the kids' school calendar, and there's just so many half days and days off, and I don't have backup childcare yet. If the pay is worthwhile to consider, an occasional daycare day or something, then yeah, I would consider that. So I don't know any other information except for part-time yarn store. That's it. So I go on Friday, so wish me luck. I bought a pair of new suit pants yesterday. And a shirt. I don't know what to wear. Do I wear hand knits? Do I wear a hand knit sweater? Do I wear a shawl? So, I don't know. I might be posting on Instagram some outfit choices that I have in mind. I know I shouldn't overthink it, but I'm working on a resume, which is ridiculous because I haven't had a resume. I looked up my old resume, and it was before my husband, with an ex-boyfriend, like living in an apartment. So we're talking like 2005, 2004, probably 2005. Maybe 2006, early. So it's been a long time. So yeah, that's it. So wish me luck this week, and I will see you in a couple weeks. I hope you all get to craft all the things and finish those WIPs and post them in Ravelry when you finish them. And drop me a line if you have any questions, if you have any comments. Please like, subscribe, and share. And that is all.